We have our Xubuntu base machine on our workstation. We want to give that Xubuntu base machine internet access so that it can access web servers out on the internet. The access to the internet will go over your laptop's network interface, over your home router if you are at home. If you are in school, it will go over the school router, or in your workplace router, out onto the internet and onto the servers that you want to access from your Linux Xubuntu base machine. I'll bring up a network now that will make your head explode at this time in this course. This is far beyond what is actually expected of you at this very early stage in this networking course. So don't worry if you do not get all the details right now. But if we go over this network diagram step by step, we can start by seeing that the Xubuntu base machine that we have on our workstation is here in the network diagram. We will connect the Xubuntu machine behind the scenes in workstation to something called VMnet8. VMnet8 will give us access to your laptop's networking interface. This will give us access to our home router or our workplace router or our school router by providing this network, aka as giving us access to our home network. Via our home router, we can see that we will reach the internet and thus the web servers where we want to pull stuff from. Further, we can say that our laptop is actually here. So this means that this part that I have shown you here in this rectangle, that is your laptop. And the physical interface on your laptop that gives us connection to the outside world is right here. So our task at hand now is to configure VMnet8 inside Workstation 16 Professional. What we will have to do is for VMnet8 to configure something called the NAT settings and the DHCP settings. We will simply do this in Workstation without going into too many details about what it all means regarding NAT settings and DHCP settings. Let us simplify the diagram to just be the parts that we see here. So this here is what we're going to configure in Workstation. This is the VMnet8 part, and down here, obviously, also on Workstation, we still have, obviously, our Xubuntu base machine that we want to give internet access. So let us bring up our Workstation. Here we are in our Xubuntu base machine. First, we will make sure that our Xubuntu base machine is connected to VMnet8 as shown in the networking diagram. Right-click your Xubuntu base machine. Choose Settings. And here we see that there's something called the network adapter. Click the network adapter. Choose Custom Specific Virtual Network, and we want that to be VMnet8. Click the drop-down menu and choose VMnet8 NAT Network Address Translation. That is selected now. Click OK. Double check. Settings. VMnet8. VMnet8. That is now where our Xubuntu networking interface is connected to. Now click the Edit drop-down menu and select Virtual Network Editor. Choose Change Settings. Select VMnet8. Make sure that NAT is ticked. Use DHCP service, and it's okay to connect a host virtual adapter, but it's not necessarily something that you will be needing right now. Click the DHCP settings. check that you have these settings that are shown over here. Leave the lower part alone. Click the OK button. Click the NAT settings. Put in these settings. Click OK. Click Apply. Now we have configured VMnet8 to provide internet access. Click the Enable Networking to disable networking. Enable networking again. By pinging 8888 from our Xubuntu machine, we have a test that we actually have internet access. We can take a look at our network connection information. We have got an IP address that says 1056.16.90, and that actually comes from the DHCP settings. We can see that our default route is set to 1056.16.1, which actually is coming from the NAT settings. This is something called our default gateway. We will get a lot back to talking about default gateway. If you don't have these settings, your internet connection, popularly speaking, will not be working, and you'll have to try and go over your settings and see where you possibly made a mistake. In our Xubuntu base machine, we can also bring up the Firefox browser. This will also ensure us that we do have internet access. What we're doing here is from our Xubuntu base machine, we are contacting the Danish broadcasting webpage dr.dk. We do have internet access from our Xubuntu base machine out from our laptop.